Hey guys, my name is Fritz. I want to say thank you so much for stopping by my channel. I hope you are well. I hope you are happy. And I hope that, you and your loved ones are safe and sound. As you know, I'm trying to build this channel to help encourage singles to go out there, to go find dates. I know it's like COVID season right now, but in general, I'm just saying I hope I could encourage singles who are basically at the point where they're like, okay, I am done dating because there aren't any good guys or any good women out there. I just want to say, you know what, it is not true. I think there are a lot of great individuals out there. I think it's all a matter of fact that, you just have to be patient and persevere and not go after, the quickies, but mostly, stay in the course that, will lead you to the best fruitful outcome. Sometimes, with, so much things happening around us, we so can easily become distracted and we're not focusing on the main goal. So I really want to encourage you that if you are in a stage where you feel like you are giving up, not to give up, because really the person you're supposed to be with might be around the corner, and the minute you give up is probably when you guys were supposed to cross path. And you just have to think of it as that, the person you want to be with, you just have to cross path with them only one single time in your life. And you want to be ready when that happens. And I think a lot of us are not really being ready. For example, what I mean by that is in a state of mind that you are ready for a relationship. I think sometimes a lot of us have a lot of, open wounds that may be, past relationships, or maybe things that were said or things that were done to you that you were not right. And some of us are the ones who actually cause pain. Sometimes I feel like, some singles go around with pain of hurting someone, and because they were in a position they didn't like and they left it, but they feel that they actually, hurt someone. And I think, it's all about forgiveness, whether somebody hurt you or you hurt somebody else. I think, forgiveness can definitely help us get a great start all over again. So for example, if you have some forgiving to do, that including yourself, I think you should, because the more you could release, the lighter your load will be, and then the more you can focus on the future. Happiness. Happiness is definitely something we all can work on. Personally, for me, outside of my husband, I try to make sure I have my me time. I don't know if it's because it's a Virgo thing or is it because it's a Fritz thing. I definitely like going to the gym. I definitely like playing racquetball alone. And sometimes I definitely like, being in a park by myself. Florida do not have that many parks, but I remember in New York, I used to just love sitting out in a park by myself and just, just having a me time. But sometimes it is hard, especially when you're in a relationship and you don't know what makes you happy. Then most of the time I feel like you can actually make the relationship become your happiness, and I think that's a wrong place to be when the relationship itself is your happiness. I think that can be a great ground for heartbrokenness if the relationship is all about what makes you happy. So for example, I think if you are single right now, you should be able to list at least 3 to 4 things that really makes you happy. And I'm going to repeat it again. I think if you are single right now, I think you should really find 3 to 4 things that really makes you happy. And when I say that, I feel like it should be things that you do by yourself. For example, for me, I love the gym. I like to take a walk in the park, and I love to shop, but I'm not going to make that happen. I'm not going to say shopping is one of them, because what if you're not happy and you don't have any money to shop? So I definitely think, you find something that you really enjoy. And I love speaking with my friends, we'll get into this, but you need to have friends that, that can add to your happiness. For example, when you're down, do you have anyone to speak with? Do you have anyone to actually reach out to? Maybe your friend might be a parent, or a cousin or a coworker, whoever it is. But do you have in your circle at least 1 or 2 people that you could actually, when I'm around them, for some reason I am happy. My whole purpose is to make sure that you are well rounded. outside of the relationship just in case, because you don't want to become the one that says, you know what, I'm only happy when he or she is around, because I think that's a good chemistry for a, I guess, disaster. Because when somebody becomes your happiness, it becomes, I'm not a therapist, but I think it screams for a lot of disasters. If you are single right now, something you can work on is definitely communication. I feel as a single person, sometimes we're not too good at communicating. And I'm not even talking communicating between you and I say your co-workers or your parents or friends and family. I think communicating with yourself. So for example, are you good at knowing what you want? Do you really know who you want to be with? Do you have an idea of what you would be attracted to? For example, a lot of people must say, okay, he can be 5'11", this and that, this and that. But I think a lot of us don't really know inside what the person should look like. For example, what are the qualities that you are seeking for in a mate, and what are the characteristics you want? Do you want this person to be a father figure, or they don't have to be a father figure? Do you want this person to be, kind, unkind? But I think everybody want a kind boyfriend or husband. What I'm saying, like, what are the characteristics inside that you are looking for, and do you have a list of them? And I bet if you are being honest with me, most of us do not have a list of the characteristics our boyfriends or husbands should have. But what we do have is a lot of, I don't like this, I don't want this, I don't want that. But when I say, what is it you want? Then it's like, oh, I know what I don't want. But I'm like, okay, then what do you want? Okay, I'll get back to you. That's what I mean by that. Like, for example, you don't want to go to New York, but where do you want to go? I don't know. But you want to take a vacation. I don't want to go to New York, Fritz. Okay, where do you want to go? I don't know yet. So I think, once you have a clear destination of where you want to go, you will definitely, get there faster. The exact same thing for having a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a house partner or a loving spouse. You have to know what you want. And I'm not talking about the external beauties. I'm talking about the internal qualities that you are truly seeking. Because once we have a vision of what we want and what we need, I think it find a way to come to us easier and more clearly. I think it finds its way to us easier and more smoothly, because we have an idea what we want. We're able to see it when it is around us. As an example, you might be right now going around town finding people based on how they looks like. So for example, you know what you want on the inside, not so much on the outside. For example, you don't know what you want right now on the inside. That means you go around town just basing your future spouse on external looks. And I think, that can be dangerous, because over time, outside appearances change, but it's the inside equality that never really, how do I say this, go away or fades or change. Externally we can change our hair color, we can gain weight, we can do this or maybe get older, but inside we stay who we truly are. And I think, going on the external is definitely another disaster most singles are doing, and I think that can be changed. Let's say that you do know what you want, and you do know the exact qualities you are looking for. Not the don'ts, but you do, the do's. So, you can go around town and see how people treat you. And basically, you can go around town and see how, these qualities are actually, being displayed in front of you. So if you just close your eyes and then start hearing how people treat you, then you will see that, there are a lot of great singles around you who are exactly what you are looking for. They may not be as attractive as you would want them to be. And I will never say, okay, to date somebody who is not up to your par. But what I'm saying is that if you close your eyes, you pretend to close your eyes and you start listening how people treat you and the words they are saying to you and their actions towards you, you might find out the person you've been dissing or neglecting for a long time now, maybe the person that actually, is a good fit for you. They may not be as attractive as you want them to be, or they may be too attractive. Sometimes somebody is too beautiful. You just like, nah, you're not my type because you're too beautiful. It's vice versa. You will be surprised, as human being, what we put it in. You'll be surprised as human being what we will do to ourselves. You're too beautiful for me. I don't want to deal with you. Yeah, I think a lot of us sometimes might be too insecure where somebody who is very attractive is actually showing interest, but for some reason we feel like, we don't deserve this person. So what I'm trying to say is that try to start judging people based on what they are inside rather than what they are on the outside. Because if you start doing that, you start connecting with other human beings on a more higher level. You'll be able to start communicating with other human beings in a spiritual level rather than just like on a physical level. I really think so. I really think if you close your eyes, I'm just figuratively, I'm just saying if you could start, listening to how people treat you and listening to how people, behave towards you, you will see that the person you've actually, been not even in your radar might be the perfect person for you. You just have to give it a shot. As human, we're all about visual. We're all about visual. You're all about visual. I know that, and I'm not saying you can turn that off, but what I am saying is that when it comes to really matters of the heart, because it's funny how we just love how people treat us. I bet you all your memories right now, you don't remember how people looks like. And I think, it's been said before, you remember people by how they treat you. But when it comes to a relationship, we don't really like that. We want someone who looks a certain way and who is a certain way, but we neglect to see people who treat us kindly. And we neglect to see people who truly wants to be around us and who would love us for who we are, not who they would want us to be, but truly for who we are. And sometimes we actually only go by visual, and we could actually neglect the person who is right in front of us. The next topic I want to talk about is very dear to my heart, and I think I'm still learning it myself. If you are in your 20s now, if you're in your 30s now, if you're in your 40s now, in your 50s, 60s, 70s, and on and on, I think, with each cycle of life, things change. People change with each cycle. And I think, as time goes by, we should be able to make more and more mature decisions. So what I'm saying by this is that the way you dated when you were in your 20s should not be the same foundation or the same, I would say, guideline for your 30s. Vice versa, when you're in your 40s, you are not looking or dating someone in the same mind frame when you were in your 20s and your 30s. And when you're in your 50s, you are not bringing in a mindset of 40s and 30s. I think, life is like a cycle. We're always changing and we're always growing. And I think part of that is awesome, but I think part of it is also a problem because I feel like a lot of us are still dating as if we are 30, as if we are still in our 20s. And it is not so. I think, we should be basing I think, in life, you should definitely grow. I think you should definitely be able to change, because if you're not changing, then you are lacking with time. For example, the way I see it, if you're in your 50s, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm not saying that at all. If this is you, it's fine. But the way you dated in your 50s should not be the same way you dated in your 30s. You want in your 30s. I think you are still discovering a lot about life, and your 20s, I think it's purely for fun. Most of us, I guess, who are straight, do get involved in their 20s and they are happily married with children. But for most people, I think by the time you get to your 40s, the decisions are a bit more mature. In your 50s, it's supposed to be way up there. You're supposed to be very mature. But if you're in your 40s and you are dating like you are 20s, then I don't know. It's a bit complicated. I don't know what a mindset of a 40-year-old should be or is, but I think it is not a mindset of a 20-year-old or a 30-year-old or a 50-year-old. But some of us may actually be older and we actually grew faster and life forces us to be more mature. But I think, as life cycles, but I think as life goes on, we should be able to change the way we date. Also, for example, if you're in your 40s, are you looking for a hookup? Or you're looking for somebody who would compliment you and this is, your life partner. And if you're in your 30s, are you looking for fun or are you looking for someone you could explore your 40s and your 50s and your 60s with? What is the long-term goal? So I truly think, being in a relationship itself is a marathon. And I think to be ready for that marathon while you're single, it is a great time to actually, learn so much about you. Because I think the more foundation you have as an individual, as a person, will definitely help you get better in a relationship. For example, knowing what you want. You gotta know what you want. You gotta have a vision of what you want. I know everybody know what they don't want. Everybody knows what they don't want. And I think a lot of people when it comes to a relationship do not know what they want. And I think, you should definitely find out what makes you happy. The more you know what makes you happy, the better it will be for you. And I think everyone should know what makes them happy. I know it's a silly concept. I know it's probably but not all of us take the time to figure out what makes us happy. For example, what do you do on a daily basis that makes you happy? And it cannot be anything that's involved spending money. Like I was saying before, shopping makes me happy. So what happens if you all suddenly lose your job? You're not going to use your money to make you happy. So I really think, all of us should have 3 to 4 things that really makes us happy. For example, walking, reading, going to the gym, swimming, something that just give you such a boost in life. I think you should definitely find 3 to 4 things that makes you happy. So, if you let me, the reason why I say that is, for example, when you're in a relationship, you will want your me time. I'm telling you, you will want your me time. What will you do with your me time? When you become a parent, you will want your me time. What will you do with your me time? So what I'm saying is you have to know what is making you happy now. So in the future, although it may change, but at least this is my moment for myself. For example, this is Fritz's moment as a husband. This is Fritz's moment as a parent. This is Fritz's moment as a worker. Because when we don't take time for ourselves, we become a victim of life. I just serve everyone. Nobody cares about me. So what I'm saying is I hope you are finding 1 or 3 or 4 things that you are really passionate about. And it's not involved money. It's not involved having somebody else. It's involved just you and that activity. And lastly, I hope you guys are dating according to the cycles of life you are in. For example, the way you dated in your 20s, in my perspective, my opinion, Please don't hold me to it, but this is my opinion. The way you dated in your 20s, the way you dated in your 30s, the way you date in your 40s, the way you date in your 50s should not be the same. You know, you cannot be the same. You have to change. The values have to change. When you're 20s, you probably were fine with, doing whatever. I don't want to be, crazy here. But when you're in your 50s and your 40s, it should be about, okay, I am dating this person because I want to have a long-term relationship, not just because he or she's beautiful. You know, when you're in your 30s, you have some kind of excuse. You are still discovering life. But, you have to date, but you have to also date with an intention of what is it you're truly seeking. I feel like a lot of us give up on the idea of dating, not because we're not meeting other singles who may be the one. I just think sometimes it's us, ourselves. We haven't really taken the time to sit down and know us and know what we want and truly approach the whole dating. I don't want to call it a game, but the whole dating experience like it should be. I think dating is a marathon. It is not sprinting. It takes time. It takes preparation. And I think a lot of us are not doing the preparation. We just want to just go out there, boom. I land me a boyfriend. I land me a girlfriend. I'm happy. I'm telling you it happens, but those relationships tends to not last, because the relationship that lasts for years and years and decades, or the relationship that the individuals did all the proper work, they know what they wanted, they dated accordingly, they have the end vision, they know what they want from a partner. So I could speak to you guys all day long, but what I'm saying is, like, start working on yourself if you are single. Start, figuring out what you want. Start figuring out, what makes you happy, and go from there. So until then, my friends, be well. I don't know you guys yet face to face, but I do love you all, and I hope that you will come back to this channel and see me in the next video, because I truly want to encourage you to go out there and find dates. And because the more dates you have, the better opportunity you will have to actually, be ready for the next big thing. The thing is, if you're not dating, how will you find this gentleman or this gentlewoman? You have to be open. You have to leave your heart open. You have to actually just be in a position where you want to receive from the Almighty. So I love you guys. Be well and take care. Until the next video, I will see you soon.